Hello everybody, and welcome to the Gemara show with your host Aroon Goldmeier. Today we are going to be learning a very special topic on page Chaf Aleph Amud Beis, starting from the 17th line with the word Lifnei. Alright, let's start. At first it says Lifnei Mai Mevarech, which means what bracha do we make before reading the Megillah? And then we have an answer, and it says Rav Shesha Mekatrazia Ikla Lekamya Derav Ashi, which means Rav Sheshet Mekatrazia happened to be at Rav Ashi's house by him while he was reading Megillah. And then it says Uvarech Manach, and he said this bracha Manach. The Mem stands for Mikra Megillah, the Nun stands for Shasanisim, and the Chet stands for Shechianu. And these are the three brachot that you say before reading the Megillah. And then there's another question that says La'achareha Mai Mevarech, which means what bracha do we make after reading the Megillah? And then there is another answer that says Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam harav et rivenu v'adan et dinenu v'anokam et nachmatenu v'anafra lanu mitzreinu v'amashlem gamol lekol aviv av Avoivi nafshenu baruch atah Adonai hanafra leYisrael mikol tzareihem, which means one who fights our wars, judges our judgments, he takes revenge for us, he punishes our enemies, he pays back to our enemies. Blessed are you, Hashem, who exacts payment for Bnei Israel for all of their enemies. And then it says Rava Amar Ha'el HaMoshiach. Rava says you should end with Ha'el HaMoshiach, which means the God of our salvation. And then it says Amar Rav Papa Halkach Nimrenehu Letarvehu Baruch atah Adonai Hanafra Yisrael Mikol Tzareim Ha'el HaMoshiach, which means Rav Papa says, since we have two different ways to end the bracha, therefore we should say both of them. Baruch atah Adonai hanafra Yisrael mikol tzareihem ha'el HaMoshiach. And that's what we say at the end of the Megillah. And then it says B'sheni v'chamishi v'shavas mencha korin shlosha, which means on Mondays and Thursdays and Shabbos Mencha we read 3 aliyot. And then Hani Shlosha Keneged Mi, which means, what do these three correspond to? Okay. And then it says, Amar Rav Asi Keneged Torah Nevi'im Uketuvim, which means, Rav Asi says it corresponds to Torah, Nevi'im, and Ketuvim. And then it says, Rava Amar Keneged Kohanim, Levim, v'Yisraelim, which is pretty straightforward. It means Rava says it corresponds to the Kohanim, Levim, and Yisraelim. And then it says Elaha Datani Rav Simi. Okay, which means that which Rav Simi taught. Okay, and then it says Ein Pochtin Mi Psukim Bebeit Knesset. Which means something. Which means Yehoshua says it corresponds to the 10 people without jobs who would sit in the Beit Knesset. These are what the 10 correspond to. The 10, they each need to be 10 psukim. These 3 aliyahs need to be 10 psukim. That's what the 10 corresponds to. The 10 people that would sit in the Beit Knesset. Vaydaber olam min minyan. I'm just going to skip that. Okay, and then it says, Hani Asara Keneged Mi. What do these 10 correspond to? I don't know why it says that. Amar Rav Yehoshua ben Levi Keneged Asara Betalnin Sheba Beit Knesset. He says it corresponds to the people that would sit in the Beit Knesset. And then it says, Rav Yossi Amar Keneged Asara Dibrot Shne Amru Lemoshe B'Sinai. which means the 10 things that Hashem said to Moshe on Har Sinai, the Debrot. And then it says, V'Ravi Yochanan Amar Keneged Asara Ma'amrot Shebehem Nivra Ha'olam. Rabbi Yochanan says it corresponds to the 10 utterances that Hashem said to create the world. And then it says, Hi Ninahu Vayomer Debereshit. Well, Hina Ninahu means what are these 10 things that Hashem said to create the world? And Vayomer Debereshit, and it's the 10 times it says Vayomer Debereshit. But then it says Hani Tesha. It only says this 9 times. Havu Bereshit Nami Ma'amar Hu Dichtiv Bedavar Hashem Shemaim Na'asu Uvaruach Piv Kol Tzavam. And this means that even though it says 9 times, Bereshit is also one of the statements with which Hashem created the world. And it says Hashem created the sky with His words, and with the wind of His mouth all of His creations. And then there's a Rashi that says, even though that pasuk doesn't teach us anything, it is still part of the 10. Okay, and that says, Amar Rava Rishon Shekara Dalid Meshubach Sheni Shekara Dalid Meshubach Shlishi Shekara Dalid Meshubach, which means okay. Rava says at least one of the 3 aliyahs has to have 4 psukim. If the first one has 4, that is praiseworthy. If the second has 4, that's praiseworthy. If the third, it's praiseworthy, which is saying they are all praiseworthy if they have the extra aliyah. And then it says, Rishon Shekara Dalet Meshubach Ditanan. If the first one has the extra aliyah, it's praiseworthy. We learn in a Braita. Shalosh Kafot Shel Shalosh Seim Shebham Tormin et Halascha V'Hayaktiv Alehan Aleph Bet Gimel Leada Ezomehen Nitrama Rishon Melamed Shemetz Dad Pnehem Kalafe Ner Ma'arvi. Oh no, I skipped a line. Then it goes to Le'akriv Mamena Rishon Shemitzvah Barishon. If the first one has the extra, we learn in a Mishnah. In the Beit HaMikdash, they had 3 different boxes from which they would take money to buy things for the Beit HaMikdash, Karbanot. And they were numbered Aleph Bet Gimel, so they would know which was first, and it was a mitzvah to use the first one first. That's how we know that the first is praiseworthy. And then it says, Amsa'i Shekara Arba Meshubach. The middle one, if the middle one has the extra aliyah, it's praiseworthy. De Tanya Almul Pni Ha Menorah Yeiru. We learn in a Braita, all the candles on the menorah would burn toward the middle. Melamed Shem Mitzdad Paneam Kalvi Ner Me'arvi. All the candles would be facing the middle candle. V'ner me'arvi kalfei shechina. V'amar Rav Yochanan mikan she'emsa mishubach. Yochanan says the middle one is praiseworthy. V'acharon shekara arba mishubach. If the last one has the extra pasuk, it is praiseworthy. Mishum ma'alin bakadosh velo mordin. It says the last one, if it has the extra pasuk, it's praiseworthy, because we would go up in kedusha and don't go down. Therefore, the last aliyah should be the longest and most significant. And then it says Rav Papa ikla le levi kanista de Abi Gubar. Rav Papa went to the Beit Knesset of Abi Gubar. Vikara Rishon Arba Veshavchia Rav Papa. And the first aliyah had the extra pasuk, and Rav Papa praised him. And then the Gemara quotes Ein pochtin mehen ve'ein musifin. The Gemara quotes the Mishnah saying, the one who begins reading from the Torah makes a bracha at the beginning, and the one who concludes the reading of the Torah makes a bracha at the end. Tana ha-potech mevarech livnea v'chotam mevarech lachareya. That's what I just said. The one who begins the reading from the Torah makes a bracha at the beginning, and the one who concludes the reading of the Torah makes a bracha at the end. Nowadays, everyone makes brachas before and after, but it was different back then. And then it says, Vaidatana V'ha'idatana T'chuluhu Mevarchi Leifnea La'achareha. The reason is because it's for the people who leave and come late. Hainu tama datkinu Rabbanan Gezera Mishum Ha-Nichnese V'Mishum Ha-Yotzin. Which means if one comes late and the first only made a bracha, he's going to think they didn't make a bracha. And if one leaves early and only the last guy makes a bracha at the end, he's going to think they didn't make a bracha at the end. And that is why. And these are all the questions that were asked throughout the Gemara. And I hope you enjoyed this session of the Gemara show. Bye-bye now.